Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Please subscribe if you haven't yet already. It's a red button beneath me somewhere, and if you click on that you'll be subscribed. There's also a white bell next to that, and if you click on that you'll get an alert every time I upload new content, which would be super cool. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. That would make me really happy. Today's video is my 2017 favorites. It took me a while to kind of pull everything together, but I think I'm ready. Really interesting to do this. There are some things that I've kind of started using towards the end of the year that I thought I probably should include as favorites, but because I only use them for like a month or so, not doing it. I'm really doing things that I've used at least for, you know, the bulk of the year. So I will start with first saying my favorite thing is you guys, and this kind of the fact that I've been able to do this at all and build a little community and meet really amazing people all over the world, and that's really my favorite. I did hit 100 subscribers during the Beautylish Lucky Bag unboxing and wanted to wait a little bit because I wasn't sure who was gonna stick around, but I am gonna do a giveaway. And I'm putting things together for that. That'll be coming up soon. But to start with, one of the things that I'll be giving away is one of my, I'm cheating a little bit, they aren't always just like a single. I have two favorite eyeshadow palettes for the year. One is not available anymore, and this was actually amazing. This is not the one that I'm giving away. This is the Besame Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs palette, and this is so amazing because they're all matte, and the shadows are so just beautiful and easy to work with and highly pigmented. Love this palette, and I've been using it a lot. The other palette that was my favorite for the year, and this is the one that I'll be giving away, and I'm again putting together a bunch of things to give away, and it will be international, those of you who are not in the US. The Colourpop Cute AF palette. This is such a good palette. A nice mix of mattes and metallics and warm, but not too warm, so could sway a little neutral. I just love this palette, so this will be coming up in a giveaway. Eye primer. The primer that I've been using most often really is my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly. This I like a lot because it does two things. It puts my makeup, it makes my eye makeup stick around longer, but it also neutralizes the color of my lids. And they do have a lot of different matte colors, so if that's something that interests you and you don't have a skin tone that's similar to mine, they have these that are matte and metallic, so you'd want to be looking for a matte color, but looking for one that's in a similar shade to your skin tone might be a good alternative to whatever you're using. And also the formula is different. It used to be just a regular one, now it's Pro Longwear, and things do stick around longer on me since I've been using this. Sticking with eyes, my favorite liner is the Tom Ford Eye Defining Pen. This is just so good. Dual-sided. The longer side is the one that I use on my lid, and the shorter side is the one that I use to flick out a wing. It's expensive, but also it stays hydrated for a long time. You do have to shake it up, but a lot of pens that I use dry out, and this one doesn't do that. So in spite of the fact that it's embarrassingly expensive, it does last for a long time. Waterline, this is annoying. This is, and I have a couple of backups of this. This is from the Estee Edit. They came out with a couple of dual-sided pencils. This is the one that's the brown and the nude. And this on my waterline, the nude one, I just love so much. And I'm getting close to being towards the end of this one, and then I'll dig into the other ones. But I haven't even used the brown, but I do love that for my waterline. Brows, Anastasia Brow Wiz in dark brown. Can't go wrong with this, and the spoolie is amazing. This is just I think I'll probably always have this in rotation even if I'm trying out other things. Also brows, and I don't use this all the time, but the Benefit Brow Conditioning Primer. This is just kind of gross and well loved. The label's coming off and everything. But I use this if I want to give myself a little more volume. It makes me feel like I have a little more volume. Don't have much in terms of brows. Mascara, the winner for the year was Benefit Roller Lash. This is a small guy, but the small guys are really good too. This is just a consistent lash that gives me length and curl and whatever's happening here with my hands. I love this mascara. For lips, I have a nude and a red option. The nude option is Colourpop Dopey. I like this a lot. This is one of their Ultra Satin lips, and this is a great color, and if I am doing something with kind of a neutral lip, this has been what I've loved this year. For red, and this is changing this year, there's something that I like a little bit better, but the thing that I love for most of the year combination was the Colourpop pencil in Bossy, which these just get so dirty. I don't know, it's annoying, but it's just one of the things that happens with these, with colored Raine in Vanity Raine. This sticks around for a long time. There'll be a new one that I'll be doing next year, but these just were a great kind of consistent duo of products that stuck around for a long time. Color corrector for under my eyes if I was feeling allergic or funky or something. The one that I used the most was my MAC Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose. This is just a great neutralizing color for under your eyes to diminish dark circles. The concealers that I used most consistently, and honestly, the one that I use the most consistently I'm not including. It is the Too Faced Shape Tape Concealer. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I mean, it's all over the place. But I have a problem with what they're doing with the Shape Tape foundation. I'm not gonna belabor it, but not so much with what they did in terms of how they released it, because there are a lot of brands, it's unfortunate, but there are a lot of brands that release kind of small capsules in the beginning and then they expand their line. But it was their response that just seemed insincere and like they weren't really clear on how things went wrong. I know there was something in, I think it was something that went to Pop Sugar that they were talking about they'll be releasing darker shades closer to the summer when people are getting more tan, which is ridiculous because we all have a different spectrum of skin tones all throughout the year. So my favorite concealer of the year was Tarte Shape Tape, but the one that I'm including here, this was my second favorite, and this is the one that I've been using most recently. I've stopped using it since everything happened, is Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer. And I'm using, I don't even know what color this is, but this is great. And it doesn't crease. That was the thing that I liked the most about the Tarte Shape Tape, is that it didn't crease under my eyes. And this is great too. For days, and that's for full coverage. For days that I wanted less coverage, I used always my Glossier Stretch Concealer in Light. So this is if I was just using kind of a CC cream or something else, and I'll actually move on to my face next. This was always my kind of go-to concealer for lighter days. My go-to setting powder for under my eyes was my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I love this stuff just to kind of set everything under my eyes. Moving on to face, and I know that there are people that don't like this, but I love this. This is the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, and I love it for a primer, but what I really love it for are for days when I'm not wearing really much makeup at all. If I'm not wearing much makeup, I will obviously be putting on sunscreen, but really what I'll do is I'll put this on, I'll put powder over it just to kind of matte things down. I'll use some of this, maybe brush my brows, and I don't really even use foundation on those days. I use this to kind of blur things and then powder to kind of set things down, but I do love this a lot by itself and as a primer if I'm using foundation. The foundation and primer combo that I loved the most, and it's unfortunate because it's expensive, is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. This is the bottle that I like the most. I know that the larger one is probably more value, but it just, I've tried it in store and it just kind of comes out, and this you can have a lot more control with, but I love this. When I use this, I don't use it as my only sunscreen. I always put on more sunscreen, but it does have, I think, a 15 SPF. And then with that, and this got even better, I was using it in Ivory, I think. This is the Hourglass Vanish foundation. Now I'm using it in Vanilla. That's what I'm wearing today, and it's a much closer match to my skin. They came out with a lot of colors in the beginning. Very, very light, very, very dark, lots of things in between. And then they've increasingly come out with, like, the color that I had initially was not the color for me. It was okay, I made it work, but not as good as this. So this is an example of a brand doing something right, I think. My favorite powder consistently was my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder. This stuff is just so finely milled, so beautiful. I love this, and it lasts forever. I use this all the time, and I love this. My favorite setting spray, and again, I use setting spray. If you're just now kind of watching me for the first time, when I put on makeup, I generally am putting it on early in the morning, and I'm gonna go to work, and it's gonna be lasting me all day. So I put setting spray on first, and then also in the end. And I use a lot of primers and eye primers and things like that. So the Milani Make It Last is my favorite for a couple of reasons. The primary reason is that The mist is so fine. A lot of setting sprays, and for the initial spray before you put your makeup on, it doesn't matter if the droplets that are coming out, if the droplets are big or small or how it's hitting your face. But when you're putting something on after your makeup is on, you want to make sure that it's a fine mist. And this is really, really fine. I really like this a lot. And I'm almost at the end of this bottle. I used it today and it is still, it's not one of those things that if you start using it, it begins to get clumpy or like thick. It's consistent from beginning to end. So I do love that. Contour. I was loving my Kevyn Aucoin, but honestly, my NYX well-loved broken blush in taupe is really, really good. This is a inexpensive drugstore, very consistent, very cool. Not cool like it's cool, but cool like it's not warm. Contour, and I love this. I have two favorite highlighters. The highlighter that is always my favorite if I want to be seen from outer space is the Balm Merry Lou-mainzer. This is only something that I use if I want to be seen from space or like a disco ball. If I want to be a little more subtle, the one that I use on the most consistent level is my Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronzing Glow, the highlighting side. I love this. The bronzer's fine. It's a little, I don't know, a little too red for me. It's fine though, but it's the highlighter that is just the winner. And the packaging, this is just so beautiful. Bronzer I didn't use very much, but when I did, I was using my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Light. And I think that when this came out before, it was just one shade, and I think now they have darker and lighter. And it just smells like summer. It smells like coconut kind of sunscreen, and I love this. So yeah, I don't use this very often, but it's nice to have. And then last, but not least and not most important, just last from what I have in front of me, is my Marc Jacobs Air Blush in Kink and Kisses. This stuff, oh my God, it's just, sometimes I have a heavy hand with my blush, and if I'm feeling kind of excited, you can kind of see from looking at this that I've gone in more with the pink side than with the red, but you can hit it kind of anywhere and make it work, and I just love this. It looks natural and beautiful, and I've loved it. And I've loved you guys. This journey this year has been something that I didn't expect. I've been watching YouTube for a long time and have been thinking about doing it and kind of waited for a long time, and I'm glad that I finally did it because it's so fun. It's fun to record, it's really fun to edit, but most of all it's fun to meet you guys. It is a big world out there. I say that at the end of every video, that it's a big world out there and there's a lot to do in the world and a lot to do on YouTube, and that I appreciate the time that you took to spend with me. And it's true, there's so much out there, and there are people that watch my videos around the world and like on a regular basis. And it's so, when the world is chaotic, and it does feel a little chaotic, more than a little chaotic right now, there's something reassuring about strangers being kind to each other from across the world. Strangers taking time out of their day to spend with people that they don't know, with kind of kindness and gratitude and thoughtfulness, and that is maybe the biggest thing, is you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Truly, 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 there is a lot to do in the world and a lot to do on YouTube, and I am so grateful that we found each other and that you're watching this and that you took some time to spend with me today. Take good care, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.